chapter I have already completed, and second was the poem Bharat Our Land by Subramaniam Bharati. That also I completed in my last lecture. Now, today I am going to begin with the next chapter, that is the pot maker. The pot maker by Temsula Ao. Temsula Ao, the name appears to be a little bit strange. Why? Because the writer is a female writer from Nagaland. Temsula Ao. She is an Indian, a famous writer and an English professor from Nagaland. Temsula Ao. So, be ready, take out your books and copies to note down the notes, whatever I give you on the board, and also to read along with me. To get ready with your books and copies, I am going to begin the chapter, the pot maker. The pot maker by Temsula Ao. The pot maker by Temsula Ao. So before I begin the story, let us have a brief description about the author, Temsula Ao. Some brief points about the author, Temsula Ao. Okay, so let me brief you about Temsula Ao. Means one second. About the author. We should know whatever poem, whatever prose, poetry or prose you study, we must know about the poet or the author. Little much details. It is often asked in competitive examinations. So, we must know it. And in board examinations also in UP board, it is asked. Okay. Temsula Ao. Born in 1945. Born in 1945. In Nagaland. And died in 1922. First point. First point. Now, he belonged to the Naga tribe. Naga tribe Ao. Belong to the Naga tribe Ao. Next, she was a famous writer. She was a famous writer, poet, and ethnographer. Ethnographer. An ethnographer. What does ethnographer means? Ethnographer is a person who studies about people, their customs, their traditions, and their ways of life. Who studies about the people and their ways of life. How is the life of the people in a particular area? That is the work of an ethnographer. Okay. Now, she worked as a professor of English in North Eastern Hill University. Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. Okay. Now, she was well known for writing about the culture and traditions as well as way of life of Naga people. So I've told you that she was an ethnographer. So she used to write about the people of Nagaland and their ways of life, common ways of life. Okay. And she received the Padma Shri Award in 2013 for her contributions or contribution in the field of literature and education. In the field of literature and education. In the field of literature and education. So she was also the receiver of Padma Shri Award. So you noted down all these 5 points. That is enough introduction about the author Tensula Ao, belonging to Naga tribe. Sorry. Tensula Ao. Ao is Naga tribe. Naga tribe. Okay. Ao is Naga tribe. टेंसुला आओ इनका नाम था, नागा ट्राइब से बिलोंग करती थी ये। 1945 में पैदा हुई नागालैंड में और 1922 में इनकी डेथ हो गई। शी ओहो शी बिलोंग टू द नागा ट्राइब आओ। नागा ट्राइब आओ से बिलोंग करती थी ये, ठीक है। ये इनकी डेट ऑफ बर्थ है, इनकी डेथ डेट है। नाउ शी वॉज अ फेमस राइटर भी थी ये, पोएट भी थी और एथनोग्राफर भी थी, ठीक है। एथनोग्राफर क्या होता है? अ पर्सन स्टडीज द कल्चर, ट्रेडिशन, कस्टम्स, कल्चर एंड लाइफस्टाइल ऑफ पीपल। ओके, ethnographer. She worked as a professor of English where in Northeastern Hill University, जिसको हम क्या कहते हैं? NEHU, जो कहाँ पे? शिलोंग, which is in Shillong. Shillong is the capital of Meghalaya. Meghalaya is also a northeastern state. There are 7 northeastern states. She was well known for writing about the culture and traditions as well as way of life of Naga people, sorry. So she was an ethnographer. So she wrote prolifically, means in abundance, about the people of Nagaland and their life. She received the Padma Shri Award in 2013, okay, for her contribution in the field of literature and education. लिटरेचर एजुकेशन फील्ड में अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन देने के लिए उनको ये अवार्ड मिला, ठीक। So this is a brief introduction of the author of the chapter, The Pot Maker. Okay. Pot Maker. Okay. Let's move. I hope you have copied it. Now, if you're not unable to copy, then go to the video YCT channel at class 9, 10th CBSE, and you'll get the content over there, all my videos, the old videos also, the new one also. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share the channel. जितना आप like, subscribe और share करोगे उतना ही हमें motivation मिलेगा, and we will make the best possible video covering each and every single topic in a best possible manner. So it's up to you. We are doing our duty. I am doing my duty and my team is doing my duty. Your responsibility is just to like, subscribe and share as much as you can, if you find the content worth it. Okay, next. The pot maker. Now, let us see the main characters. Main characters. क्या क्या इसमें मेन कैरेक्टर्स हैं? पॉट मेकर्स में क्या क्या मेन कैरेक्टर्स हैं? ठीक है, पहला तो मेन कैरेक्टर सेंटिला। Scintilla. A young girl. Scintilla. A young girl. Who dreams of becoming a pot maker. Who dreams of becoming a pot maker. Okay. She is also the protagonist of the story. She is also the protagonist of the story. Okay. Protagonist means lead character. Lead character around whom the entire story revolves. जिसके इर्द गिर्द सारी स्टोरी घूम रही है, जिसको हम कहते हैं किसी कहानी का नायक, हीरो या हीरोइन, मतलब एक्ट्रेस, द लीड कैरेक्टर, जिसके बिना कहानी पूरी नहीं हो सकती. दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रोटैगनिस्ट. एंटागनिस्ट का अपोजिट होता है विलन ऑफ द स्टोरी. सेकंड पॉइंट, सेकंड कैरेक्टर, अरेनला. Arenla. Arenla is the mother of Scintilla, who refuses or who does not want Scintilla to become a pot maker at any cost, because it is very tiring and least rewarding work in terms of income. She rather wanted her daughter to become a weaver. Third point, third one is Anula. Who is Anula? Third character. Third character is Anula. Anula is a kind woman who later helps Scintilla to learn pot making. I hope this will help you. This is going to be very helpful to you. It is going to be very helpful to you, because I have given the name of the lead characters in the story. There's one more character, Musaba, that is the father of Scintilla. His mention is only at once when it's called in a village council. Otherwise, these are the lead characters which play important role in the story, and among them, Scintilla is the most important character, the protagonist of the story, without whom this story would not have been materialized, means would not have been completed. Okay, so let us give you a brief introduction of the story before I begin reading from the text. Like, it is a story of a young girl, Scintilla, who used to help her mother in pot making, but she had a great desire to become a pot maker, but her mother never wanted her daughter to become a pot maker because it was a very tiring, very exhausting work. She had to go all the way down to the river bank, get the wet what we call clay from there into a basket and carry it uphill. Then she had to put it into soak it into water, then put it into bamboo cylinders and beat it repeatedly to make it soften. Then from that lump, from that mold, she used to make the pot, which was again a very skillful work. Then the pot used to be dried for 2-3 days, and then it was taken to the kiln. Kiln means that furnace for firing the earthen pots. All the earthen pots or bricks which are made of clay, they are fired under the furnace at a very high temperature to make it more durable. So, and in return, only only means a very less income was earned. Means that was a thankless job, you can say. The income was very less, but it was a tradition of that village that one should know pot making. It was a matter of pride which was passed on from generation to generation, from one generation to another generation, that pot making skill. So no matter it was less rewarding, but it was a tradition of Nagaland that everybody, every person of the family must know pot making. So as a mother, she had a soft corner for her child, and she didn't want to throw her into that thankless job. Instead, she wanted her daughter to become a weaver. Weaver means a person who makes cloth, fabric out of threads. That was less time taking also, and that could be done by sitting within the house, not going outside anywhere to get the clay and all. And the reward, the income was also more than that. And above all, she wanted that once her daughter becomes a weaver, then besides making the cloth for selling purpose, some cloths would be also utilized in the family. So for these 2-3 reasons, means that due to tiring work, the pot making was tiring work, it was less rewarding, and weaving was easy to learn, and income was also more, and the cloth made from weaving could also be utilized by the family. All these factors, or considering all these factors, mother Aranla wanted her daughter to become a weaver. But the daughter, that is Scintilla, insisted on becoming a pot maker only. Every afternoon she used to go approach the village people and try to learn the pot making. And there was a gossip around the village everywhere that Scintilla used to approach everywhere and trying to learn pot making, and why her mother is not teaching her the pot making. She must teach her. It was a tradition, and that's why a village council was called, and in that father was called and was instructed that he should ask her mother to teach her pot making. The father replies that Scintilla is ill, and that's why as soon as she gets well, her mother would teach her pot making, and with a caution, with a warning, she was sent back home. And finally, um, her mother starts teaching us pot making. 1 year passes, but she was unable to learn anything. She could not shape the pot out of clay. Then after that, she goes to the hostel to live with other girls. That was also a tradition of Nagaland for a year or so. And there was one kind lady, Anula, and she saw Scintilla trying to make pots in desperation. And then she finally helps her making the pot. And a day comes when Scintilla becomes a skilled pot maker, and the story ends. So it teaches us that with her sheer determination and dedication, finally Scintilla learns how to make pot. No matter she failed in the beginning. So we can say that a moral of the story comes that failure of the stepping stones to success or perseverance. Same similar moral as in the first chapter, how I taught my grandmother. There, the grandmother never tried. She started at old age and finally succeeded. Here, she tried and failed so many times and then finally succeeded. So this is the summary of the story. Now I'll begin reading from the text. I think you all must have taken out your books. So take out your books, be ready with your pen and pencil, and I'm going to read the text and explain you the text line by line, and whatever hard words comes, I'll make you write down the meanings of those hard words also to make the text simple and easy. Okay. Chalo, get ready. The pot maker. Now, the story goes, ever since Scintilla became old enough, old enough means grown up. Ever since Scintilla became old enough to accompany her mother to the fields and forests, means she used to go along with her mother to the fields and forests. She began to dream of becoming a pot maker. So as soon as she grown up, she dreamt of becoming a pot maker. Who? Scintilla, the protagonist of the story. Like her mother. Means her mother was already a skilled pot maker. Like her mother and grandmother. Her grandmother was also a skilled pot maker. Because I told you it was a tradition over there. However, Anila, her mother, wanted her to become a weaver. Her mother wanted her daughter to become a weaver. On days when she managed to stay at home while her parents went to the fields, Scintilla approached expert potters to learn the skill. So, on the days when she used to be at home, when her parents went to the fields, then Scintilla used to approach to the skilled potters, expert potters of the village. एक्सपर्ट पॉटर्स के पास जाती थी और कोशिश करती थी कि उसे वहां सीखने को मिल जाए पॉट मेकिंग. ट्राई टू लर्न. दे वर एट फर्स्ट amused. Amused means here, amused means surprised. So the potters used to get amused, surprised. Why? By the little girl's insistence. Insistence means strong desire. Mm. One second. One second. Carry on, children. Carry on. So, the villagers used to get amused at her insistence. Excuse me, firmness. Firmness. Okay. At her insistence, as they thought that she would soon outgrow her childish passion for the craft. Outgrow means to lose interest. Outgrow means to lose interest. So the villagers thought that soon she would. This was a childish passion. This out of her childness, she was wanting to learn the pot making because they thought that Scintilla was not serious about it. It was only childish fashion. उसका बचपना है. And soon she would outgrow, means lose the desire for learning this pot making. Pot making craft. Scintilla did not disclose her fascination with pot making at home. So, fascination means attraction. She did not disclose her attraction towards her love for pot making at home. She didn't tell anybody because she knew that her mother and father would not agree. As she had overheard a conversation between her parents one night. Because one night she heard a conversation, a talk between her parents, mother and father. Her mother was complaining. उनकी mother complain कर रही थी क्या? She said, complaining about Scintilla's indifference towards weaving. Indifference means lack of interest. DIFF. DIFFERENC. Indifference. Lack of interest. Lack of interest. So her mother was talking to her father that Scintilla did not have any interest in weaving. She said, I shall not teach her pot making as it has brought no joy to me and only a pittance. Pittance, Pittance, pittance. Pittance means small amount of money. Small amount of money. Small amount of money. So she said that only it has brought no joy to me and only a pittance for my troubles. Means all trouble which she took in making the pot. In return to that, only a small amount of money she used to earn. And it was very tiresome work, as I told you in the summary explanation. That's why she did not want her daughter Scintilla to teach this profession. इसलिए उसको नहीं बताना चाहती थी वो. Formed. The river bank where the grey and red clay required for making pot is found. Means the red and grey clay, लाल मिट्टी और काली मिट्टी, which was required for pot making, was found at the river bank. नदी के किनारे, river bank. Was found at the river bank where the grey and red clay required for making pot is found is 16 kilometers from here. Means the distance was how much? The distance was 16 kilometers. She has to cover to get that clay, red and grey clay. To reach the river bank, she has to walk 16 kilometers. Then from here, I need to climb down a sheer drop to the river bank. Means it was very sheer, means very sharp. Drop means sharp climb. So you have to drop down a very sheer drop to the river bank. Means it was a very sharp downward climb where she has to reach the river bank. And after that, what she said that I need to climb down a sheer drop to the river bank and my back aches from carrying the heavy load uphill all the way to the village. Aches means pains. So she said that while carrying the red and grey clay from the river bank, getting down the hill and then getting up to the hill and carrying the wet clay all the way 16 kilometers to the back to the village was a very tiresome and exhausting job, due to which her back used to ache. उनकी कमर में दर्द होने लगता था. She wanted to say. Pounding the stubborn clay inside bamboo cylinders to soften it is also tedious. Pounding means beating repeatedly or continuously to make the clay soften. It was a stubborn, thick clay. So the clay is to be softened by putting it into bamboo cylinder. Bamboo cylinder is a hollow bamboo. A bamboo which has a hollow space inside. In that, the clay was put and then it was beaten so many times to make it soften. Means to make it soft for making the pot. It was also tedious. Tedious means tiring. Tiring. Next. So many times I have dropped the mold out of sheer exhaustion. Mold, a hollow container used to shape any material. A hollow container used to shape any material. So she said that so many times she has dropped down the mold due to her tiredness, sheer exhaustion. Sheer exhaustion means complete tiredness. Okay, complete tiredness. And I've had to start all over again. Then again, she had to restart. Being tired, again she had to restart. It takes months to bring out a batch of pots. Batch of pots means group of pots. He says that it takes months, so many months to make a group of pots after so much labor, means after so much hard work. And the reward, and she says the reward, the return, a few rupees, only a few rupees. The earning was only few rupees. Nobody buys a pot for paying much money, after paying much money. So the return was only few rupees. But if Scintilla learns weaving, she can make much more money. That's why she was insistent in making her daughter Scintilla learn the art of weaving, because that was not so much laborious or tiring job. And besides means in addition to. Besides means in addition to. In addition to. She says that, and besides means in addition to this. What? Besides? Besides providing enough cloth for the family. Means once she learns weaving, she will be able to weave enough clothes for the family also. And what else he says? That weaving is not messy. Messy. Messy means disordered and dirty. Means weaving is not a messy job like pot making, and can be done indoors. Means you can make make cloth or weave cloth while sitting indoors, inside your house. But for pot making, you have to come out of the house, because for that there is a requirement of the sun. You have to make the pot and keep it in the sun to get it dried. And then you have to be alert. Suppose if it rains or the season changes, so for the safety of the pots, you have to get it inside. So you have to be very alert. Whereas weaving could be done indoors also, in all seasons. In all seasons. Like in winter season, while making pot, you will have to face the shivering cold. In rainy days, you have to face the rain. In hot sunny day, you have to face the sun. Also, the time spent on weaving one shawl is much less than the return is handsome. Is much less than the return is handsome. So she said that weaving one shawl takes lesser time than pot making, and the return is also handsome. Means the return is also good. So why not to learn weaving rather than pot making? That's why she wanted her daughter to learn pot making rather than weaving. So these are the reasons which Anna, means the mother of Scintilla, gives to support or to justify herself for not teaching her daughter the art of pot making. Instead, she wanted her daughter to learn the art of weaving, because it was more profitable, less time taking, and more convenient job. which would be done while sitting at the home, inside the home, without taking much pain. So this much is for today. I hope you liked the lecture, and you will definitely like, share and subscribe it for motivating me and my team. And please go through the content, keep it revising, and in my next lecture I'll continue with the same chapter, next part of the chapter, and again I'll complete everything along with the exercise given in the book. So if you fail to attend the class today, then the videos are already there on YCT channel at YouTube, for YCT channel for class 9, 10 CBSE. You'll get all the videos, previous videos also, along with today's video. So keep on watching it and keep on liking, subscribe it. That's for the day.